Welcome to the deep dive. We sort through the noise, try to bring you the core stuff from really fascinating sources. Today we're looking at something quite deep, actually, an ancient wisdom tradition, but it offers surprisingly practical tools for modern life.
Yeah, it really does.
Our source is an audiobook exploring what's called Das Lakshan. That's the 10 Virtues Festival in Jainism.
Right.
Now, hold on. Before you think this sounds, purely academic, or maybe just for one specific spiritual path.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Let me tell you, these aren't just dusty old ideas. The sources call them timeless values and practical tools for everyday life. Really about purifying your inner landscape, handling daily stuff.
And what's really cool, I think, is how these virtues, things like forgiveness, truth, self-control, they aren't presented as these like lofty, abstract ideals.
Right.
They're grounded. Simple examples, really relatable. So our mission here in this deep dive is to unpack those little nuggets of wisdom, help you figure out how each virtue might bring a bit more peace, maybe some clarity, inner freedom into your own life, just like the source promises.
Exactly. Think about it like a shortcut, getting you up to speed on a wisdom tradition that's guided people for ages, but made accessible for you.
Oh, let's jump in.
Okay, let's do it. So first off, what exactly is Das Lakshan? Why is it such a big deal?
Okay, so putting it in context, Das Lakshan, sometimes called the 10 Virtues Festival, it's genuinely one of the most significant spiritual times for Jains, especially within the Digambar tradition. That's one of the main ascetic branches of Jainism. They really emphasize renunciation, monastic rules.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it lasts 10 days, and each day the focus is intense on one specific profound quality.
10 days, 10 virtues. And what's the main goal, the purpose behind this focus?
Well, the core idea is that these virtues aren't just nice thoughts. They're active processes, tools, really, designed to purify the soul.
Purify the soul.
Yeah, they specifically target and help you, remove negative stuff, like anger, pride, greed, deceit, the usual suspects. And it makes you wonder, right? How do these ancient ideas stay so relevant, so powerful in our world today, which is often pretty chaotic?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And our sources, they stress this isn't new stuff.
Not all.
They're described as eternal truths, revealed by enlightened folks called Tirthankaras. And they're laid out in important Jain scriptures, like the Tattvartha Sutra.
Exactly. The Tattvartha Sutra, that's a foundational text.
Yeah.
Really systematic, lays out Jain philosophy, ethics, the works.
So yeah, this is a deep, well-thought-out tradition we're talking about.
Precisely. And through practices like reflection, fasting, prayer, studying the texts, Jains actively train their minds, their hearts, to cultivate a life with more peace, more purity. And what we'll see, I think, is how accessible the core ideas are for anyone, really.
Okay, let's do it. Let's walk through them day by day, see what practical insights we could actually use.
That's good.
All right, day one kicks us off with forgiveness, or Kshama.
Kshama. Yeah, forgiveness. At its core, it just means letting go of anger, resentment.
Simple, but not easy.
Definitely not easy. The source points out something crucial. When someone insults you, hurts you, our mind just wants to cling to that bitterness, right?
Yeah, ruminating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that anger, it only burns us from within. That's the key phrase. So the insight is, it's simple but huge. Forgiveness is freedom.
Okay, and here's something I found really compelling from the Jain perspective. It's not just about forgiving others.
No, absolutely not.
It also really emphasizes asking for pardon for our own mistakes. That's why they use that phrase, mikami dukkadam.
Yes, mikami dukkadam. It basically means if I've hurt you knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive my faults. It's a very common practice.
That's powerful.
Think about it, like in a real situation, a friend says something, maybe rude, thoughtless.
Happens all the time.
Right. So instead of stewing on it, replaying it, maybe you pause. You think, okay, maybe they were just upset, having a bad day, and you choose to let the anger go. Forgive them.
And the feeling.
It's often lightness, right? Relief. And it works the other way too. Owning up to your own mistake, saying sorry, and having someone forgive you, that brings back peace too. It makes you think, how often do we really get that dual nature, offering it and seeking it? It's about freeing everyone involved from that burden.
The source uses a great analogy. Forgiveness cools the fire of anger, like rain falling on a burning forest. It just puts out that inner fire.
Beautifully put.
So after thinking about forgiveness, it seems like the next step involves dealing with ego.
Right.
Which brings us to day two. Humility. Mardava.
Mardava, exactly. Humility. It's about being gentle, soft, free from pride. The main idea is ego tricks us, makes us think we're somehow better or above others. But humility, it's this constant, gentle reminder all souls are equal.
Fundamentally equal.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that shared essence.
I love the imagery the source used for this one. A humble person bends like a green branch in the wind.
While a proud one is stiff and easily broken.
Yeah.
It paints such a clear picture of resilience, doesn't it? Being flexible versus being rigid.
It really does.
And the examples they give nail it. Think of like a super respected teacher, but they talk kindly to every single student. They listen. They even learn from them.
No hierarchy there.
Right. Or maybe a really wealthy person who treats the cleaning staff with the exact same respect they show a business partner.
That's true humility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of humility, it shines quietly and wins hearts because it's real. It connects people, doesn't push them away.
Okay, so humility connects to inner clarity. And building on that, let's look at day 3. Straightforwardness. Arjava.
Arjava, right. Straightforwardness. This is about being honest, simple in your thoughts, how you speak, what you do.
So the opposite of being sneaky or deceitful.
Exactly. No hidden agendas, no pretense. The source describes someone with Arjava like a clear mirror reflecting without distortion.
Wow. What you see is what you get.
Pretty much. Your inside matches your outside.
The example they used felt very real, especially for work situations.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Making a mistake. Instead of trying to hide it or lie or, blame someone else.
The classic blame game.
Right. You just say, yep, my bad. I did this and I'll fix it. And the source suggests, yeah, maybe people are annoyed for a second, but long term, that honesty builds serious trust, like unbreakable trust.
Totally agree. And what's really insightful here is it's not just about bluntly telling the truth no matter what. It's about integrity, transparency. Arjava, straightforwardness, it clears the burden of dishonesty. Think about how tiring it is to keep up lies.
Exhausting.
Right. And it builds lasting respect, not just from others, but self-respect too. It's about living authentically, no mask.
That makes sense. When you strip away deceit, you probably want more inner peace, which leads nicely into day 4, purity and contentment. Shaucha.
Shaucha, yeah. And this one goes way beyond just washing your hands.
Right. Not just physical cleanliness.
No, it's fundamentally about purity of mind, purity of heart. Specifically, a mind that's free from jealousy, free from greed, those corrosive things.
Okay.
And the other huge piece here, often missed, is contentment. Just being genuinely okay, happy, peaceful with what you have, who you are, instead of always chasing more.
That constant chase.
It's relentless.
The source had this scenario that really made me stop and think. 2 people eating the exact same simple meal.
I remember this one.
One person's complaining, oh, it's so plain, wish I had something else. The other person, just grateful, enjoying it peacefully, savoring it.
Yeah.
And then the source just asks point blank, who do you think is happier?
Ooh, yeah.
That just nails it.
Yeah.
Right? The quiet power of contentment.
It really does. And it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In our world today, constant ads, social media making us compare everything, this drive to acquire.
It's everywhere.
How genuinely radical, how liberating is the simple idea of just being content with what is. It's almost countercultural, but incredibly resilient.
Absolutely. Okay, so from that inner state of purity and contentment, let's look at how we express ourselves. Day 5, truthfulness. Satya.
Satya, truthfulness. So, yes, it means speaking the truth. But, and this is a really important but, there's a nuance. It has to be gentle and always with good intentions.
Okay, so not just blurting things out.
Definitely not. The source is clear. If the truth can harm more than help, then silence is often the kinder choice.
Interesting. So it's not just about accuracy, it's about the impact.
Exactly. The ethical impact. The well-being of the other person matters.
So how does that work? In real life, the example they gave was pretty good.
Which one is that?
Your friend asks, hey, what do you think of any painting?
Yeah.
Whatever. And honestly, you think it needs work.
Okay. Tricky situation.
Totally. So instead of saying it's terrible or just lying and saying it's great, you find a constructive way. There's potential here, but I think we could make it even better. Let me help you think about it.
So you're still truthful but kind.
Yeah.
And helpful.
Exactly. And the source says your bond actually gets stronger because there's trust, but also care.
That's a great illustration. Truth spoken with care, with a good heart. It doesn't just state facts. It builds deeper trust. It enriches the relationship. It's about compassion walking alongside honesty.
Right. Preventing truth from being used like a weapon.
Precisely.
Okay, speaking truth kindly. That takes some discipline, right? Which seems like a perfect lead-in to day 6. Restraint. Sanyam.
Sanyam. Restraint. Yeah, this is all about control. Over our desires, our senses. Without that self-control, the source says we become slaves to impulses, just bounced around by every little craving or emotion that pops up.
So similar.
Doesn't it? But with restraint, with Sanyam, we get wisdom. We can guide our actions thoughtfully. And it also strongly includes practicing nonviolence, ahimsa. Not just physically, but actively avoiding harm in our thoughts and our words, too.
Wow, that's comprehensive. So, an example. Maybe feeling that rush of anger, wanting to yell.
Yeah.
But instead, you stop. You breathe. You respond calmly. That's Sanyam.
That's definitely Sanyam. Or, resisting the urge to eat a whole bag of chips when you know it's not good for you.
Okay. Guilty.
These are everyday acts of restraint.
The analogy they used was good, too.
Oh, the river one.
Yeah. It's like the banks of a river guiding water restraint channels your energy in the right direction.
It shows that discipline isn't just about restriction. It's actually empowering. It helps you focus your energy, gives you more freedom in the long run.
That makes sense. Okay, this idea of disciplined action.
Yeah.
It flows right into day 7, doesn't it? Austerity.
TAP. Austerity. Essentially, yeah, it's self-discipline. But, and this is important, it's not about suffering for suffering's sake.
Right, not self-punishment.
No, the purpose is purification, refining your character, your spirit.
How does that look?
Well, it can be external, like mindful fasting, maybe giving up certain comforts for a time. Or it can be internal, things like meditation, sincere repentance if you've messed up, or even just consciously practicing humility.
Okay. And the source says something pretty profound here. That tap burns away the chains of karma and brings deep peace.
Yeah. And for, a general audience, you could think of chains of karma as those repetitive negative habits or patterns we get stuck in.
Okay. Breaking those cycles.
Exactly. Breaking free from self-defeating stuff. And that allows for this deep inner calm to emerge.
So like maybe fasting for a day, not because you have to, but as a way to practice conscious control.
Precisely. Or choosing to meditate for 10 minutes instead of just zoning out on your phone. Those are small acts of tap. And the core message is really powerful. Real happiness isn't in comfort, but in inner stillness and self-mastery.
Inner stillness and self-mastery.
Yeah. It kind of asks you, doesn't it? What small, intentional act of self-discipline could you try today to get closer to that stillness?
Food for thought. All right, moving from self-mastery. Day 8 gets into renunciation.
Tyag.
Tyag.
Renunciation. This means consciously letting go.
Letting go of what?
Well, attachments to stuff, material things, harmful habits, even just plain old selfishness.
But does that mean you have to become like a monk living in a cave?
No. That's a key distinction the source makes. You don't need to renounce the world entirely to practice Tyag.
Okay, good.
Even people living regular lives, householders, they can practice it by sharing what they have, being generous, by consciously working to reduce greed, by cultivating detachment.
So for everyday life, what would that look like? The source mentioned donating clothes you don't use anymore.
Yep, that's a simple, concrete example. Or maybe something deeper, like finally letting go of an old grudge, something that's been eating at you.
Holding on to resentment.
That's a heavy burden. Letting it go is an act of renunciation. And the insight is just so clear, isn't it? Every time we release what we don't need, our heart becomes lighter. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of holding on too tight. Allows for more freedom, more generosity.
That idea of letting go.
Yeah.
It seems to set up day 9 perfectly. Non-possessiveness.
Akinchanya.
Yeah, this one goes even deeper, I think. It's about understanding, really internalizing, that ultimately nothing truly belongs to us.
Nothing. Not even.
Not our money, not our status, not even our body, really, or our relationships in an ownership sense.
Wow, that's a radical idea.
It is, because the more we cling to this illusion of mine, the more we suffer when things inevitably change or are lost, which they always do.
Right, impermanence.
Exactly.
The example they used was simple but effective. The child fighting over a toy. Mine.
So fierce about it.
But then, a year later, they don't care about that toy at all. They've moved on. And adults do the same thing, just with different toys, money, status, houses, ideas, forgetting it's all temporary. It'll pass too.
We just cling harder, maybe, and the takeaway is so liberating if you can grasp it. The less we cling, the freer we become.
It really pushes you to ask yourself, What am I holding on to so tightly? What possessions, what ideas, what expectations might actually be weighing me down instead of lifting me up?
Letting go could be freedom.
That's the idea.
Okay, finally, we've reached day 10. This brings us to purity of conduct, Brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya. So, this means purity in everything, thoughts, words, actions.
Okay, now for monks in Jainism, this often means celibacy, right?
Right, that's a specific application for monastics. But for householders, for people living in the world,
Yeah.
it broadens out. It means self-control, definitely. Faithfulness in relationships, being loyal, living with dignity, with respect for yourself and others. And it also involves consciously avoiding things like entertainment, thoughts, even speech that stir up harmful desires or reduce respect, either self-respect or respect for others.
So, practically speaking, someone who's loyal to their partner, who
Who?
maybe avoids consuming media that feels degrading or harmful, and who just generally treats people with decency and respect, they're practicing Brahmacharya.
Absolutely. That's the everyday application.
And the benefit.
Well, the source says this kind of deep purity protects dignity. It conserves vital energy instead of wasting it on lower impulses. And ultimately, it gives the mind calm focus.
Calm focus. Sounds good.
Yeah. It's about channeling your core energy towards higher things, towards living a life of integrity, which leads to peace and clarity.
Wow, what a journey through those 10. Let's recap quickly. Forgiveness, humility, straightforwardness, purity, truthfulness, restraint, austerity, renunciation, non-possessiveness, and finally, purity of conduct.
Good stuff.
The source sums them up beautifully, calling them 10 lamps, gently lighting the soul's path toward freedom.
That's a lovely image. And looking at the bigger picture, Das Lakshan, the whole practice, it's this powerful reminder, isn't it? That real joy, real fulfillment, it doesn't come from ego boosts or having more stuff or temporary comforts.
Where does it come from then?
It springs from cultivating these deep internal values, the things that actually free us from inner conflict, from suffering. It's just a really solid framework for self-improvement, for finding genuine inner peace.
And here's the thing that makes it really powerful, I think, for your everyday life.
Yeah.
It's how accessible it feels. The beauty is that you don't have to make some massive life-altering change overnight, even tiny steps.
Small steps matter.
Totally.
Yep.
Like really forgiving someone in your heart, or consciously deciding to let go of some old resentment that's just draining you, or even just trying to speak your truth, but doing it with kindness. Those small conscious actions, they slowly polish the soul, as the source might say. They make a difference over time.
Absolutely. And as that the pride, the anger, the deceit, the greed, as it starts to fade, even just a little, what takes its place? Well, it's peace, it's clarity. It's this sense of inner freedom that feels really solid, unshakable. Which brings us back to that core question, really. Wisdom isn't automatic, right? It grows when you practice it, when you make it a daily habit.
So the challenge is,
what small step could you take today? Inspired by maybe just one of these 10 virtues, what could you focus on to bring a little more peace, a little more clarity into your own life, starting now?
that's the question to sit with. We really hope this deep dive gave you some things to think about, maybe a few aha moments, and perhaps sparked an interest in exploring these timeless ideas a bit further on your own.
Hope so.
Until next time, keep digging, keep learning.
And keep building that inner freedom.